Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final, to round 7 of Drift Masters 2025, and that is right. We are in the PODIUM Narodowy in Warsaw, in Poland.
In the next year.
I wondered, he's talking about, accolades and everything. Oh, so much grip, he pops a wheel off the tarmac with lines on a very shallow line. He tries to pull away, but he can't. Out Pavel Korpolinski as they fire into these drivers. NAOKI NAKAMURA's put up a steely fight tonight, but so has James Deane all season. They come off the line, ready to go. In the big show in front of all of these Polish fans. A man from Japan on the line right now. It's NAOKI NAKAMURA. Toyota GR86 2JZ 900 and 900 horsepower. This on the line, this incredible car. This man, such a character at Drift Masters, said that he was so desperate to get back. What can he do here in the stadium? Oh, a little tag, you can see it just upset the car, but now works himself back into it again on the foot brake. NAOKI NAKAMURA fires himself into outside zone 4, sets himself up lovely on the foot brake. Flirts with danger though, that rear wheel so close to the wall. You see these short chassis GRs and GT86s cause bad damage, but no problem so far for NAOKI NAKAMURA as he gets into outside zone 7 on the foot brake, dials on the angle, fires the back end towards the wall and across the line.
Dance that line, it becomes tough, but this is coming together a lot better for Nakamura.
It certainly is. A 91 on the ball drops him inside the top 10 for the moment after his first qualifying run. Weekend here just for qualifying as we amp up the numbers tomorrow and we pack out the stadium for a sold-out house. We go back on the line to a man from the United States who did a full season of Drift Masters in 2024. Is the one and only Adam LZ, 2JZ BMW 36 900 horsepower from Orlando in Florida. Comes off the line. This man third on the podium here last year. What can he do this weekend as LZ puts the back end of that BMW into the outside zone? Very comfortable here at Drift Masters, tickles the front bumper along the walls. Now LZ sets himself up beautiful in this long outside zone, smooshes the back bumper, takes the back end and the boot lid and the whole shebang out the back of it as he now fires himself in to outside zone 6, collects the throttle once again as LZ sets himself up for outside zone 7, back end into the wall and across the line.
Yeah, really big jump.
There we go, score drops in, an 89.5 for Adam LZ on that first qualifying run. He'll be happy with that. Yeah, so my phone has gone crazy because Becky is saying that Marco Zaccaru is trying to retune the car in the paddock right now.
Oh my gosh.
Scenes down there are crazy. The final is mad. The final's going to get even madder because NAOKI NAKAMURA comes off the line in this incredible GR86. He fires through the man from Japan. What can he do as he sits in 26th place with a 91 at the moment? Drift Masters final is heating up turn by turn as we turn the temperature up for the Red Bull Drift Masters final here at a PODIUM Narodowy in Warsaw as NAOKI NAKAMURA fulfills all of the outside zones. He flicks the car across the circuit, down to the handbrake, slows it down, but then has to get back on the foot brake to push the back end towards the wall. NAKAMURA on the throttle once again and across the line.
He's another driver just stepping up, just getting crazier. I mean, even more smoke. These fans are working overtime. A few drivers that can knock that down, so it's going to be tough.
And there we go, a 92 drops in. He drops into 20th position with and we lose the Sheriff out of Drift Masters. Adam LZ, though, on the other hand, an 89.5. He is in the show. Currently sitting 25th. But we know where he needs to be as he slams in to gear this 3.4 2JZ BMW E36 comes off the line as Adam LZ through the gears, flicks that car to angle. Nice initiation, straight down on towards the wall as he knows he maybe went a little bit too hard onto the wall in that first qualifying run. Now starts to put things together as he absolutely nails inside zone 3 and outside zone 4 as Adam LZ works his way around this long outside zone, back on the throttle, stays into it as he gets outside zone 5 collected, looks across the circuit, oh, and he goes too deep into outside zone 6, but he makes it work. He holds on as Adam LZ collects outside zone 7 and job done. I mean, we dive onto the door, and there we go. He isn't rewarded. It's an 88.5 for Adam LZ, and judges not liking that contact with the wall. Look, tyres warming already. It's going to be Jylhä to take on NAOKI NAKAMURA in the chase position. Jylhä opting to lead first, so yeah, we're going back to seeing this a lot now of these. A lot of the younger drivers opted throughout the season to chase first. At this event, they're opting to lead first.
Yeah,
and I don't know what the switch in advantage is.
I'm really not sure on that one. It might be tire life. Because it's not a high deck track, they don't mind leading first, and they know they've got enough left on it to put up a good chase.
Well, there we go, interesting times at Drift Masters finale here in Warsaw in Poland as Jarkko Jylhä leads out NAOKI NAKAMURA. Nakamura straight onto the door of that JZX100 as Jarkko Jylhä, the Finishman, tries to put on the best, the cleanest lead line he can. And look at that line already as Jylhä gets into outside zone 4. There's no shaking NAOKI NAKAMURA though as Nakamura goes for that front wheel, shallow angle out of the outside zone, now falls into formation, starts to push Jarkko Jylhä around the circuit, starts to bully the young Finn as they get into outside zone 6. Both guys tag the wall, both guys make a correction, but now get back into it on the wall and across the line.
And outside zone 6 almost just claimed it.
The Japanese legend. Come off the line and through the gears. It's going to be Nakamura to lead out Jarkko Jylhä as they fire into that first outside zone. Look at this from Jylhä, straight onto the side, straight onto the door, manages it, dials it in and mirrors the angle. This is brilliant from Jarkko Jylhä, and it's a really clean lead line so far from NAOKI NAKAMURA as he works the angle into the car. A little scrappy in outside zone 4, but now starts to accelerate away as he picks up outside zone 5. Jarkko Jylhä, though, can't be shaken as the young Finn gets into it. Outside zone 6 fulfilled, and Jarkko Jylhä has been with him the whole way, and Jylhä almost overtakes him across the line.
Wow, Jarkko Jylhä is absolutely on it here at the final round.
Yes, certainly so, and here we go. Both guys out of the car. And a sigh of relief from Jarkko Jylhä. NAOKI NAKAMURA happy. Slide of left for Jylhä, right for Nakamura. Nakamura getting the win. But Kevin Pesur, this means more to him. The young Estonian comes off the line, and Kevin Pesur wants to win, wants to get the battle done and claw more points and get himself that third step in the championship as Pesur comes off the wall nice and early, dives across the track and picks up both inside zones. Adam LZ flicks that car into the door of that BMW 2 Series as they both fulfill outside zone 4, but it's shallow and off the wall for Kevin Pesur as he now comes across the circuit for outside zone 5. There's no shaking Adam's LZ as he goes for the front wheel. Both guys wobble as they go for outside zone 6. Outside zone 7 fulfilled, and LZ's on the back bumper. Back around LZ now to lead out Kevin Pesur as they sit on the line ready to rock and roll. Spot in top 16 away. So look at that from Kevin Pesur. Jumps off the throttle. He knows he maybe made a mistake in outside zone 1. They fire through. Pesur goes for a straight line initiation and attack on the side of the Americans BMW E36 as they go door to door through that inside zone. And look at this from Kevin Pesur. He has to almost back out of it. It takes the front bumper to the wall as they get into outside zone 4. Kevin Pesur does not want to back down, but Adam LZ is on an absolute flyer. Nice line into outside zone 5 from Adam LZ as he pulls some ground on Kevin Pesur. They get into outside zone 6. Pesur has to shortcut the circuit. He's shallow once again as LZ sets the tyre on fire across the line. These guys always having fun. Starting left for Pesur, right for Adam LZ, and it's going to be one vote for LZ. It's going to be Adam LZ taking the win and advancing through to the top 16. And Kevin 32, some heavy stacked battles, Jacob. Incredible top 32. And here we go, they're getting pulled to the line. It will be the next battle of our top 16. Dwayne McKeever to take on NAOKI NAKAMURA. This is going to be an interesting one. And they get the thumbs up all around from our start line Marshall Marson, who has now donned the shirt for the final battles of the evening. They get the cars into gear and they're off the line. Nakamura to chase down McKeever. Through the gears they go as McKeever fires into outside zone 1. Little dab of the handbrake now sets himself up perfectly. Both guys touch the wall though, and McKeever starts to shred the back bumper off the back of that 180SX as they flick through once again. McKeever into outside zone 4, sets himself up nicely, but look at this, no shaking. The Japanese driver Nakamura shallows off the angle, trying to put the front wheel on the door. Oh, so much grip, he pops a wheel off the tarmac. We've not seen that all evening as Nakamura now hunts down McKeever. Both of them touch the wall. They go for the final outside zone. They're into the wall again. Wow.
Here we go, stepping up the game once again from both drivers. McKeever, though, he hit the wall, I think 4 or 5 times. One more wall tap to finish it. I counted at least 4.
There were some big wall taps from McKeever. And look, hey, for us, it's motorsport entertainment. Look at these two guys. These cars are cranked up right now for top 16. Look at the lean. That's wearing away that carbon Kevlar over fender. They have gotten softened up and gripped up to the max. The side skirt is rubbing. That's motorsport entertainment for us, but I'm telling you, for the judges, that's a mistake. We'll see how this one goes as they swap them around and they go for it again. Look at this McKeever, super aggressive as he goes down the door of NAOKI NAKAMURA. They fire into outside zone 1. Nakamura into the wall. Look at this, McKeever tagging the door already, pushing NAOKI NAKAMURA around the circuit. They transition back. McKeever goes for it. He's on the hunt right now for a kill as he goes for the front wheel of Nakamura's GR86. They both fire through. They look for outside outside zone 5, collected as they transition together, perfectly timed. But look at McKeever, he's onto the front wheel, he's glued to the side of that GR86. They go wheel to wheel across the line. Wow!
Let's go!
Well, here we go, slide him left for McKeever, right for Nakamura. Who's going to be? It's going to be one vote for Nakamura. It's Nakamura getting the win and advancing through. And Dwayne McKeever says, well, fair enough, a little dejected, but look what it means to the Japanese legend as he puts his arms in the air. He is absolutely... And here we go, back on the line we go to France's very own finest drifter. It is Jason Benet to lead out Adam LZ.
We know how fast that BMW is. One of the fastest, if not the fastest vehicle we've got on grid right now. But Jason Benet is absolutely on form, and he's got more of a stylistic flair than we've ever seen.
Yeah, he certainly has. Well, they're off the line and ready to go. LZ on the podium here in 2024. He'd love to do it again as they fire in. Nice initiation from both guys. LZ goes wider than Jason Benet, but look at this. Jason Benet opens up the throttle and he's got some grip dialed into that Subaru BRZ as they fire into outside zone 4. Adam LZ goes for the front wheel, but look at the pace in that Subaru BRZ, but he's shallow on outside zone 4. Benet trying to escape the grip of Adam LZ right now as the American goes for it, shallows off the angle, puts the wheel towards the door. They fire through outside zone 7 and across the line.
Just another epic battle right up.
They're ready to go, they get the green light. The LZ to lead out Jason Benet, a spot in the top 8 awaits for one of these drivers. Here we go, oh! Contact before initiation.
Okay.
Jumps in, left for Benet, right for Adam LZ. It's one vote for LZ. And it's Adam LZ getting the win. And he says to Jason Benet, I'm sorry, man. David Kalash, just quickly. He came, tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our top 8. Back on the line we go with Alan Hines, who got a gift into the top 8, with Clint Van Oort taking that car to the wall. But he now faces off against a legend in drifting. It is the one and only Naoki Nakamura, sits on the line in that Toyota GR86 2JZ 900 horsepower. A steely competitor, a man that is on form, and a man that is so excited to win every single battle. Look at this, hyped up and excited in the car. He's like a coiled spring of emotions.
He's that excited the moment he steps foot on grid. He's like this all weekend. I don't know how he does it.
No, so nor do I, but here we go. We're going to find out how he's going to do it right now. They come off the line and through the gears. It's going to be Alan Hines to fire in that S15. He gets into that first outside zone and tickles the wall with the back end. And now Naoki Nakamura starts to find the side of that green and white S15. They fire into outside zone 4. Nakamura with him once again as Alan Hines shallows up the angle, and it looks like he struggles there for a little bit of pace and grip, and now starts to unwind and uncoil the spring as they get into outside zone 6. Naoki Nakamura can't be shaken. Hines on a very shallow line. He tries to pull away, but he can't get away from him.
Yeah.
Talent.
Well, you've got the entire offseason, and the bow tie is back, baby.
The bow tie is back on. That's because we're getting close to the final battles of the evening as we move through competition. Naoki Nakamura now sits in the lead position. Alan Hines to give chase. Will he try and repay the favour? Will he paint a stripe up the side of that GR86 as he almost pushes Nakamura off the start line? They burst through the gears, flames erupt. They go for it as they fire in. Nakamura starts to put a gap already on Alan Hines as he has to shallow up the angle, fire that car in and flick it to angle. They fire through that inside zone, back into outside zone 4 as Nakamura shallows up the angle, now starts to wind on the angle, the grip in full effect as he fires through the middle of the circuit. Alan Hines looks like he's playing chase with a mouse right now. He can't hang with Nakamura. Shallows up the angle once again as he puts it to the line. Yeah, Nakamura was on a fly. Look at this, straight out of the car, helmet off. He wants a decision. Slide him left for Hines, right for Nakamura. Who's it going to be? It's one vote for Naoki Nakamura. It's going to be Naoki Nakamura taking it through to the final 4. Well, will the Polish roots shine through, or will the true Polishman, the hometown hero from Warsaw, reign supreme as they come off the line? It is Paweł Korpolinski to lead them out. They both go for an aggressive initiation. Korpolinski straight into it, and he knows that LZ's fast. He's turned that car up to 100 right now. They fire through the middle of the circuit. Look at Korpolinski bailing smoke from the back of that car as they get into outside zone 4. LZ tries to hang with him. He tries to dial on the angle, flicks into more angle, and it's a mistake from LZ as he has to shortcut through the centre of the circuit. Korpelinski gets into outside zone 6, but he keeps it off the wall. It's clean, it's surgical from the surgeon as he puts it across the line. Hold off 10%, or will he know that this means more than to hold off? And they go for it, they creep off the line. LZ to lead out Pavel Korpelinski for a spot in the final four, awaits for one of these drivers. They fire into that first outside zone. LZ into the wall, takes the back end off the car, and a groan from the judges erupts as he disposes of the back end of that car on inside zone 3. Korpelinski does hold back, now starts to rein him in. He knows that LZ's made a few mistakes. He can see the errors creeping in, and Korpelinski's just going to stamp all 40 on it right at the end of the run. They get into outside zone 6. There's a tag on the wall from LZ, and Korpelinski holds back once again as he jumps onto the back bumper across the line. Here we go, they slide him left for Korpelinski, right for Adam LZ. It's one vote for Korpelinski. It's Pavel Korpelinski taking the win and advancing through to the final four. Well, 48 drivers started off the weekend with a hope, with a dream that they would be on the grandest stage in European drifting, putting on a show in front of 50,000 people. The biggest run of 2025, a shot to be in the final. The anti-lag pops and bangs from the back of the GR86 as they come off the line. This is it, a spot in the final awaits. Will it be Poland? Will it be Japan? They flick the cars from left to right and in to outside zone 1. Nakamura shallows off the angle, gets himself into the wall but deals with it as Korpelinski once again clean. The surgeon puts on a clinic out front and opens the door for Nakamura, and he certainly does open the door as Nakamura takes a step in, he takes a step out and then back in again as Nakamura plays with Korpelinski. The grip in that car is phenomenal as Korpelinski dials on the angle, tries to shake the Japanese driver, but there's no losing Nakamura.
Yeah, Nakamura fighting through that entire run, and Korpelinski just once again going through all the thing, navigating it.
The grip in that car, the power, it's turned up to the maximum right now, and Nakamura has to sit in that lead position and say, well, now it's my turn to lead. Can I open the door for the surgeon? Can I give him an opportunity to get close and personal, or can I drive away from him? That is what Nakamura is going to try and do. They sit on the line, the cars come off the line and through the gears. Nakamura will lead out Pavel Korpelinski as they fire into the initiation. Korpelinski goes earlier than Nakamura and uses that to fire the car up into the door of that GR86 as they come through that inner zone. Korpelinski takes the bumper off on the wall. Korpelinski's not messing around as he drags it around the circuit. He now tries to get closer to Nakamura as they fire through. Korpelinski is not messing around. He wants this more than ever. A shot for the final awaits for Korpelinski, but look at Nakamura as he flicks it to angle.
That last 5% that Korpelinski needs to win and to be on the podium and to potentially win this entire event was just unlocked. That transition, taking the front of that car across the wall, pulling the bumper off, that is not something he normally does. He's so calculated and would never take a risk like that. But that part, that little bit of wild that we talked about in qualifying has come out once again. Look at these transitions. Look at this on the inside. Oh my God. That's something you only see in like F1 in Monaco when they've got the wheel against the guardrail. And Korpelinski is doing the exact, even phased by it. I don't think he is even blinking. Look at that.
Or you're inches away from complete disaster, and Korpelinski laid it down. He put it on the line out there because he knew what was at stake. There was a spot in the final.
Oh, man, that's the difference, as we talked about, between being a really good driver and a great driver, or even a legendary driver, is knowing when you need to go for that last couple of percent and do something crazy to try and get the win, and he knows it. Look at the smile. He knows it.
On his face says it. Oh, here we go. Start him left for Korpelinski, right for Nakamura. It's a one more time from David Kalas. It's going to be a one more time. Wow. It's a one more time. Wow. Who will be joining Conor Shanahan in the final to battle it out for the top step? Who will be joining James Deane in the third and fourth place playoff for the final step on the podium? Both of these guys won it. Nakamura this weekend has been on form.
Yeah, it's just been this progression all the way through the season, but he's going up against a Korpelinski who has found another gear and another way to drive this car and doing things that we would never expect. And the question becomes, does he do it again? Does he push harder, or does he fall back to the precision that he knows so well?
There we go. We're off the line. We're about to find out as Pavel Korpelinski flicks the car across the circuit. Look at that. Nakamura straight line initiation, dives straight in, dips the car down, now works his way into the door and on to the rear bumper. Pavel Korpelinski's S14. Korpelinski seems to have turned that car up, more grip than before, and it looks like Nakamura now struggling to keep up, but he does make some dives in outside zone 4. He's going to make a dive here across the circuit, and he does. As they get into outside zone 6, Korpolinski goes for it, absolutely flying, and once again Nakamura loses ground across the line.
It shows too in just the amount of smoke that's pouring out that these drivers are looking for more grip on every run. They're trying to get every single ounce out of these cars and every bit of power that they can find just to have some sort of an advantage. And Korpolinski's doing that he's doing the exact same thing all the way through this. He is just pouring smoke out of this, and so is Nakamura. And I mean, maybe there's some strategy to that too. You're trying to blind your opponent through the transitions, but I mean, Nakamura feels like he was born in the smoke.
Popping a wheel off the tarmac again. Nakamura's got that car turned up to 100. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wheeling.
This is what I'm saying, the amount of grip that he is making. He is going sideways, he is burning rubber, and still lifting up the front end.
But there was points of the circuit where he couldn't keep up with Korpolinski, so how much has Korpolinski gripped up that car?
Man, all of it. 100% all of it.
He's like, take the valves out of the tires, I'm running them at 0 PSI.
Yeah, that's, you know, if they come off, they come off. I'll just do it on the wheels. So, yeah, just nuts. But it really does show how much more they find in these cars as the night goes on. More rubber goes down, and they need to find every little bit to just try and move on.
Yeah, these guys don't stop pushing the limit all the way through to the final. They'll just keep turning it up. They'll just keep one of Nakamura's crew running in to speak to him. And is there an issue? No, double thumbs up from Nakamura. It looks like he's happy, yep. And you're probably wondering why that guy run on circuit. That is not only Nakamura's mechanic, but also he's just translator.
Okay.
So Nakamura struggling with English, doesn't speak hardly any English. So miscommunication between our Polish start line marshal and our Japanese driver. Here we go, off the line though, no messing around. Nakamura bangs through the gears. Look at the aggression already from both guys. As Korpolinski fires in, he's on the inside of the circuit. He needs to regain some lost ground in outside zone 1 as they flick through. Play dangerous game as they squeeze those cars alongside the wall into this long outside zone 4. Door to door, wheel to wheel, as Nakamura flicks the car to angle, looking for outside zone 5. Korpolinski hunting him down on the handbrake, getting that car set up for outside zone 6 as they now go wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper. There's no messing around as Nakamura flicks it to the wall.
It becomes that question, is this enough for either driver? Both of them putting everything on the line, and it's so tough to tell. To me, I mean, it looks like Korpolinski may have held back just a bit, trying to go more for that consistency, giving Nakamura that time to settle the car before he makes his dive, and Nakamura not leaving anything to chance, going wild through these transitions. Look at the front end of that, diving back down, getting the grip, making sure there's no understeer as he comes around that concrete barrier. And yeah, it is so tight through these runs because both drivers are trying everything that they can to pick up some sort of advantage. The transitions from Korpolinski, look, he lets Nakamura settle in and then goes for the dive. Not as risky as before, maybe thinking that the craziness that he unleashed previously was his undoing, and that was why it went to a one more time. But for Nakamura, business as usual, going around this track, dragging bumpers, making smoke with a smile and 2 thumbs up the entire time.
Nakamura's car, I'm just going to say now, was so incredibly fast on that lead.
Look at that front wheel. I mean, I don't know how long it was even touching.
Off the tarmac.
Yeah, wild. The setup in that car.
Look at the squat on that car. Incredible stuff from NAOKI NAKAMURA. And this is the Nakamura we've been waiting to see this season. Unfortunately, not really found that turn of form in 2025, but we hope to have him back for 2026. And that car stays in Europe for another year because Nakamura has been such a credit to the championship. And who's it going to be? As they stand patiently waiting, Pavel Korpolinski smiles for a spot in the final, or waits for one of these guys. Left for Korpolinski, right for Nakamura. It's 1 vote for Korpolinski. Pavel Korpolinski goes to the final of Drift Masters 2025 to face off against Connor Shanahan. And NAOKI NAKAMURA will have to face off against James Deane for the 3rd step on the podium. Wow. James Deane just couldn't do enough to take 3rd in the championship. He'll have to settle for 4th. But can James Deane claim 3rd step on the podium tonight here in Poland in front of these crazy crowds?
I'm sure he would love to stand on that podium with Connor and whoever else. But this will be very, very interesting to see how this all plays out. So this last spot on the podium is big. I mean, we know like Connor, Paolo are going to be there, and now it comes down to who will join them at the end of the night to raise a trophy.
Well, NAOKI NAKAMURA has yet to get a podium in 2025. This could be the evening where it all comes alive for him, but can the man from Ireland, can the man with so many trophies, he needs another house to house them, continue that reign, continue that drive, continue the form that he's had for many, many years? He nods his head as if he's agreeing with me to say, yeah, I'm not going to give up now. I'm going to be on that third step on the podium. I'm going to spray the champagne. I'm going to celebrate with Conor Shanahan. But NAOKI NAKAMURA slams that car into gear and says, well, you've got to go through me first. They're off the line. This is it. The third step on the podium awaits for one of these drivers as they slam through the gears. James Deane flicks the Ford Mustang across and into outside zone 1, but NAKAMURA is flawless as always, into the door already, as NAKAMURA won't let James Deane get away. They flirt with danger on the wall as they get into outside zone 4. James Deane on the throttle, on the zone, in the wall, and on contact with NAOKI NAKAMURA as they get across the circuit into outside zone 6. James Deane dials on the angle, but his contact, and did that upset the line from James Deane as they get into 7 across the line?
This is the type of battle that both of them have been looking forward to, something that is just aggressive and punchy all the way through, and a bunch of contact, and we'll see how that ends up playing out, because it got a little crazy there on the end from the waves in the air of the pyro going off on every run. We are using every drop of propane before we leave here tonight. And this battle is getting a lot of heat because, man, look at Nakamura. He is so aggressive in the chase right now. James Deane with that bit of a left foot brake, getting the car to rotate back around, and the Japanese driver trying to rub off any of the blue from the side of that Mustang. Look at that punch. Keep on going, James Deane. Pushes him out nice and wide to 5. And as we start to sink things in through 6, this is where things get a little bit hairy. Looks like James might have made contact with the wall first. Nakamura hits him right after that, but I mean, I could be wrong. Just out of view from the drone angle, but thankfully the judge is able to get through. And look at this shot. Man, the smoke, the light, the contact, the tires, everything that makes drifting great in one frame.
Outside zone 6, a big question mark.
Big question mark, and that is a spot that the judges will be able to go back, scrub, take a look at, and maybe it will be a part of the decision, maybe it won't be, because these two warriors are gonna leave it all out here in the middle of this stadium.
They certainly are going to have to, that's for sure. And we're going to find out how it went down. You can see Nakamura taking laps of the circuit to try and cool down that GR86. We know it was hot in the last battle against Pavel Korpolinski, and now maybe it's still struggling. We can see James Deane's car taking the fans to the front, trying to cool that car down as well.
Up the light. So, there it is. Oh, we're getting a hand up.
We're getting a hand up. And it looks like NAOKI NAKAMURA might need...
Is he saying he's okay?
To cool the car down.
How much time do we have left is the next question.
Well, we'll have 2 minutes. He's back on the line though, so it looks like Martin's just giving him a few moments to try and cool that car down ever so slightly more. These cars are really going through it tonight.
Yeah, they're cooking, to say the least. I mean,
now it's time for it. This could be the final run of our playoff battle for the third step on the podium for one of these drivers. NAOKI NAKAMURA has put up a steely fight tonight, but so has James Deane all season. And they come off the line, ready to go. As both cars hop off the tarmac, into gear and through across the circuit. NAKAMURA fires in. James Deane knows he can't let him get away. Oh, they both make contact with the wall and each other as Deane flexes the back end of that Mustang. They shallow up through inside 3, now back onto it, into outside zone 4. James Deane on the door, tagging Nakamura, not messing around, letting him know he's there, but Nakamura seems to have a little bit more pace in that car as he squeezes the throttle, tries to drive away from James Deane. It's so clean from Nakamura as he dials on the angle. Deane finds the door across the line.
The bullying of James Deane, just trying to push Nakamura around the track. Tell him, hey, let's go faster. I know you've got more pace in this car. I've seen you lifting wheels. Let's get at it. So, right off the line, look at Nakamura getting that e-brake going, and now James Deane just getting back into it. Both cars making contact, then into the wall, but they do a great job of collecting the inside clip through this transition. Amazing work, and then James Deane back on the hunt, popping through the smoke and getting into the door one more time of Nakamura. Look at this. Anytime Naoki makes some sort of correction, James Deane punishes him for it. If there is any slowing whatsoever from a left foot brake, maybe even just the slightest of lift, James Deane is there to accent it and tell him, no, let's just go. And you can see him in the corner, they're stoked. This is the type of driving every drifter lives for. They want this. They want to be just beating each other up all the way around the track. It is a fist fight in two cars.
It certainly is a fist fight in two cars. Look at this, and James Deane, look at that. The flex of the door, the flex of the bumper. He takes a little panel off the side of Nakamura's GR86. They get into it, both guys out of the car. They're having so much fun this evening. But as much fun as it is, only one of them can take third step on the podium. The judges going over the scores, deliberating it. What's it going to be? It looks like the scores are dropping in for one of these guys. Who's going to take third step on the podium at the final Drift Masters? The Red Bull Drift Masters finale 2025 here in Warsaw. Who is it going to be? The decision's in. Left for Deane, right for Nakamura. It's one vote for Nakamura. It's Naoki Nakamura getting the win and taking third step on the podium. That means James Deane finishes up in fourth place here at Drift Masters, and Nakamura puts his hands in the air and waves to the crowd. Our CEOs and vice presidents down there, Eric and Adam Krochak, ready to hand out those final trophies, those final celebrations, and you can see those guys on the podium. Naoki Nakamura, what a guy. I'm so glad that he made the return back to Drift Masters for 2025, and there he is, third step on the podium. What a weekend.
Yeah, so easy to call things after an incredibly rough season earlier on, but he's made all the strides. He's come back with the force, and he showed why he is the legend that he is. It's drivers that don't give up. They just improve and